I'd like to come back with you now to discuss a little bit more what has been just happened in the breakout session. So I welcome back on the digital main stage the moderators of the breakout sessions that were just taking part. Regina Knirsch is with us, Richard Festner, Veronika Tideneva, and Caroline Welzel. A warm welcome goes out to all of you. Nice to see you, and I hope to see you soon all in person again. So I hope you had fruitful breakout sessions. Thank you. And I'd just like to start with Regina Knirsch. Would you give us a glimpse of what has happened in your breakout session?
Yeah, thanks, Katie Gallis, for the nice introduction. We had really a full room. If we would have sit together, very impressive for the late afternoon. And the topic of our breakout session was from risk to regulation. And so having Ms. Manuela Helmecke from the Federal Environment Agency in our podium and Professor Jens Haberkamp, they talked about transferring the EU regulation into German technical rules. We discussed more in detail how we can deal with the risk and if we really are able to provide the technical solutions for the operators, because we already talked in the panel discussion that the time frame is really tough to have this 1.5 or 2 years. But we've seen also that everything is in place. We have some solutions we can learn from the other countries, and there is also the experience we have with many other guidelines we transferred from the EU into the national law. So that was even put in a question from the audience: can we tackle the problems? Can we tackle the risk? And we talked about yes, we will have the acceptance because we need the water, as Professor Traves also mentioned in his panel discussion. However, it will not be easy because we really start from the scratch. I think that was also mentioned from Ms. Helmecke on the panel discussion. There's no legal framework. There are some threshold mentioned in the forest watering irrigation. There are some single application in Germany. We had Braunschweig. However, we have to get this national regulation together with a water framework, with the groundwater directive, with the environmental quality issue. So Ms. Helmecke did mention so many regulations to look on that we really say yes, they will give the Nobel Prize to us if we all mentioned and manage to solve these problems.
That's a good goal. Thank you. Yeah, that's a wonderful goal. Thank you so much to Regina Knirsch, Head of Research and Development at the utility Berliner Wasserbetriebe. Richard Festner was responsible for the second breakout session. Can water reuse benefit from digital twinning?
Yeah, thanks, Katie. Nice to meet you again here at Blue Planet. In my breakout session, we were merging our conference topic, water reuse, with applied digitalization. And we spoke about the benefits in water reuse from a digital twin. So to go more into details with this, we were introduced to a research project called Flex Treat, where a 3-stage multi-barrier physical water treatment process is replicated by a digital twin. And by this, a cyber-physical system is being developed and tested with the ultimate goal of autonomous operations. So we had Ulf Mielke from KWB with us. He explained the physical plant and process and shared his issues with maintenance of online sensors that serve as a critical link, of course, into the digital twin. But it was really interesting to hear potential areas of extending the cyber-physical system beyond the specific plant and, for example, cover the optimization of the overall water reuse and surface water protection management. And then his counterpart and partner here, Achim Ried from Xylem, then showed us how the digital twin is being built with many different elements and the many goals that this technology will be responsible for to achieve, from meeting treatment targets, minimizing energy demand, preventive maintenance, and knowledge building. So we learned how many different professions are involved in such a project. And what I can really support from my experience is Achim's final point, that to accelerate usage of digital twins in the water sector, we first really have to understand the needs of the owner operator. So I hope that gives you some highlights, and I encourage you to watch the recording on demand.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Richard Festner, Senior Director at Bentley Systems Germany. And thanks, of course, for your advice. And I forward that to all of you. You can watch all the videos on demand later on, so you will not miss any interesting topic, any discussions. I will do so because, of course, I could only join one breakout session, but I'm very interested in listening to more. Now, the breakout session number 3 with the moderator, Dr. Veronika Chitineva, Research Associate from the Kompetenzzentrum Wasser Berlin. What has been the hottest topic in your breakout session?
Yeah, thanks, Katie. We actually had a rather small group in our discussion about public acceptance, but as we later learned, that actually turns out to be quite useful when we're discussing public acceptance. And smaller groups are, in general, much better than large town hall discussions. In our session, we heard from Dr. Heather Smith about the increase of European public perception, so that the public perception is improving and the yuck factor is going down in terms of water reuse practices. Dr. Smith recently shared results from a European project called NextGen, where they conducted surveys in Spain, in the UK, and in the Netherlands, which revealed that more than 67% of respondents are now supporting the use of recycled water for drinking, and more than 74% of respondents are supporting the consumption of food grown using recovered nutrients from wastewater. So we're seeing that perhaps our beliefs that the public perception is negative, so our assumptions coming into water reuse projects are perhaps a bit outdated, and that the societal norms are actually moving in a direction where the yuck factor is going down, and more people are accepting of water reuse practices. We also heard from Peter Asterberg about Europe's first direct potable reuse plant on an island in the south of Sweden. And he walked us through the timeline of their public acceptance process, which started all the way as soon as they started commissioning the plant. And he told us about their multi-channel public engagement process, which included press releases, brochures, small info sessions, as I mentioned, and was paired with positive local and national media coverage. And I think the plant's sleek design and an international royal inauguration were perhaps also the icing on the cake for sealing public acceptance. And at the end, we realized that we had come up with a slogan for achieving or helping achieve public acceptance of future reuse practices that I would encourage everyone to follow. And it's the 3 T's. So transparency, trust, and time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Veronika. Thank you for outlining the hottest topics of your breakout session. And now coming to Caroline Welzel. I hope you can hear me well, or you can see me. If so, please give me a hello, because I'm not quite sure if the connection is stable right now.
I can hear you.
I don't think so. I can hear you. I don't see you, but maybe you can give us in a short 1 to 2 minute wrap up what has been the hottest debate and the hottest discussion in your breakout session.
Okay, I hope you can hear me, everybody. So thank you, Katie, and thank you for integrating us here into this great conference. We're very happy to be part of it. In our session, we talked business. So we actually discussed, or I presented the possibilities for companies that come from the water sector to be successful in procurement projects from the large international finance institutions, such as the World Bank or the Asian Development Bank. I explained a bit, and it was just a very first, let's say, shot at it, how these procurement systems work and what you actually need to prepare, what to look out for and yeah, some do's and don'ts around this. Highlighting, of course, the opportunities, which are definitely there. A lot of projects are procured worldwide, a lot of money, and everywhere expertise is needed. Consultants are sought for, goods and works are procured, and German companies are usually underrepresented. And because this is so, AWE has started a specific project in this field of procurement called Bridging the Gap. And this was the second part of my presentation. I talked about our experience with Bridging the Gap, a pilot project that has just finished, where we took companies from different sectors, but also a group from the water sector, to India and to Ghana to discuss concrete projects that the World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, and the African Development Bank are preparing there on the ground. And we had really one-to-one meetings with the companies, with government representatives, and with the experts from the bank. Very interesting experience. And we had a great group of water companies with us in Ghana and in India, and all this with great support from the German Water Partnership. We are now preparing the second phase of Bridging the Gap. So companies that think, yeah, procurement could be an option, could be a way of expanding business, are really strongly encouraged to apply for this program, which is free of charge, of course, since we're a government agency. And I would be happy to see many players from the water industry to approach us. And of course, beyond Bridging the Gap, AWE is there for companies that want advice, want contacts on developing and emerging countries. So don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you very much, Caroline, for pointing out what has been discussed in your breakout session. And of course, everybody is available for a chat afterwards. All the videos will be recorded and will be available as video on demand.